People will say, Scott, well, what does it matter if I'm registered? If I want to vote, I can register game day. And in many cases, that's true and just vote then. I try to explain to them, no, you're missing the point. If you are
Yes.
not a registered voter, you don't appear on a candidate's walk list when they're knocking on doors. You don't appear. They're not going to knock on a door for someone who's not registered because they want voters. So what winds up happening is if a candidate has a message that resonates to you, you're a hunter and you're not registered, but you really care about the Second Amendment. I would imagine you do, right? You hunt, unless you're bow hunting, right? You're going to need a
Yeah.
rifle. You're going to need a firearm, correct? You're never going to hear from that candidate ever. You may not even know when the election is. You're busy. You got your life. Meanwhile, if you're on the darn list because you registered them, look, hey, it's candidate Joey Bag of Donuts. You believe in the Second Amendment. All of a sudden, you're like, wow, I really should go out and vote.
Absolutely. Well, there's a lot to unpack here. And like you said, if you don't appear on the list, how am I going to garner that vote? How am I going to get that person out to the polls? But it's a couple different things. Not every state has same day voter registration.
Right.
Sure, Wisconsin does, Minnesota clearly does, Virginia does. But many of the southern states require you to be registered 30 days prior to election day, i.e., Texas, I do believe. And in Pennsylvania, you have to be registered 15 days before election day. So if you're not registered, sorry, you're out of luck. And the
Yeah.
reason why this is so important is look at even in Pennsylvania with Dave McCormick, we had 23,000 people vote provisionally on election day. Dave McCormick won by 15,000 votes. Had those
Mm.
people not been registered and had they not done a provisional vote, we may have only 52 seats in the Senate. But to bring this to Florida for a second, because today is primary day, please go out and vote. The polls close at 7 p.m. Eastern time zone. In Florida in 2016, remember Hillary Clinton? They were saying, we are winning early voting in Ohio and Florida so big that Donald Trump can't win. Of course, that was false. But the impression it left in the voters when they heard, Donald Trump supporters heard that we couldn't win, how many people didn't vote because of their early voting? Fast forward, Dan, to 2022, when Governor DeSantis was running in Florida, and we were winning early voting in blue counties. Suddenly, Broward County, West Palm Beach County, I believe more Republicans came out to vote because of the strength of our early voting numbers, and it put seeds in their head. Yes, Republicans can win. And so it's this multi-pronged approach of the voter registration, of the early voting, of chasing ballots into boxes. And that is our strategy going forward into 2026, 2028, and beyond to win elections.
Now, I want to get to your book for